the former Cornhusker Brett Maher to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
44. Here you go.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Dalton. Eluding the press, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback, too.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Blake Gillikin on the punt now on 4th down. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really...
It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 39 yards there, a big one. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Demario Davis there on the stop. So from the 17, here's 2nd and 7. Prescott from the gun. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And the Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. And now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Now Prescott. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. Prescott now. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott able to connect with Dalton Schultz. And the Cowboys get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a looking for.
And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Looking for the out route. It's completed to Landry. And he is going to have a Saints first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. And Dalton to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Inside give to Elliott. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Prescott. And he'll go underneath here to Elliott. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
And good yardage there on first down because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively. Well, it could have gone for more.
And he is caught by Lamb. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. A good pickup there, a 22.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Dak Prescott scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Cowboys have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Instead of having to play follow the leader there, the leader led.
I like that. And he likes that, doesn't he? 1st and goal, let me do the job.
Because you know when he falls into the end zone after falling behind those big guys who pushed up front, that's a pretty good celebration, isn't it?
Gives him a little street cred in the locker room, too, doesn't it?
Street cred, and then when they go out to dinner afterwards, he's still picking up the check.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Kamara. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Dalton now to pass. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. So Dalton now. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. Blake Gillikin on a punt here as he'll send this one away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going way down.
Deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Dalton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
And again, Andy Dalton to throw.
Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down.
The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a 1st down. Now Dalton. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that is incomplete.
I believe I'm following their logic. Take the big shot downfield, loosen things up. You're hoping to get some points on the board before the half. Maybe now you come back and throw some underneath stuff in order to make sure you get a completion.
Play action now. Dalton. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. Takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick 6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick 6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Saints offense going to head out now late in this first half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Play action here with Dalton. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Dalton. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing, Dalton. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Taking it about the 16. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. He'll take the knee in the final couple seconds. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter.
Taking it about the 1. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from a lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Play fake. Here's Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And he'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner, because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
This is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Dak Prescott able to connect with Dalton Schultz. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the two teams by far. That's great complimentary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field. and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it is 28-0. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Trying the left side with Kamara. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. 2nd down and 8. To throw here, Dalton. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Credit the secondary, credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Elliott. Call it an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Room here to run. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a 1st. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3 and out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. Pick up the 1st down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit, too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And the Saints are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play. Back now here live in New Orleans. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. Silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painting the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout that's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Big 4th down here. It's Dalton. And this is caught, but they say out of bounds. That would have been a 1st down, but he couldn't stay in, and as a result, they're going to have to give up the football. A first down carry by Elliott. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
22 yards there, a first down. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. David Onyemata there on the tackle. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Prescott. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Elliott is in. Touchdown, Dallas. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind-melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that makes this 35-0 now. Following the touchdown, here's Moore to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
A quick one here, hauled in by Kamara. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Dalton. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. This will be Dalton again. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Dalton here from the gun. To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll be brought down at the 27. Throwing again on second down. Dalton back to Kamara for another catch. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And he's got it. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. And it'll be Dalton again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Flush to his right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
This Cowboy defense trying to hold them out of the end zone. They've run it to 3rd and goal. Here's Dalton. And it'll be intercepted.
Picked up by Trayvon Diggs.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it is 42-0. Following the touchdown, here's Moore to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the 4th quarter. And a big deficit, Charles. But they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board. So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.